The Israeli government has blamed rising anti-Semitism and global incitement against Israel for last night's gun attack in Washington, D.C., in which 2 Israeli embassy workers were killed outside the Capitol Jewish Museum. The victims, a young couple about to be engaged, were leaving an event when they were shot by a lone gunman. A suspect who's in custody is reported to have chanted pro-Palestinian slogans.
An event to promote peace in the Middle East ended with gunfire and death on the streets of Washington. The victims, Yaron Lischinsky and Sarah Milgrim, worked at the Israeli embassy here and were due to get engaged.
The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem. They were a beautiful couple who came to enjoy an evening in Washington's Cultural Center.
They were leaving the Capitol Jewish Museum when a man stepped forward and produced a gun.
Prior to the shooting, the suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire, striking both of our decedents.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
The suspect was named by police as Elias Gonzalez, a 30-year-old from Chicago. Eyewitnesses said he'd come into the museum after the shooting, calmly waiting until police showed up.
Once the police originally showed up, he's like, I did this, I'm unarmed. He pulls out a red keffiyeh and he's like, I did this for Gaza, free Palestine. There's only one solution, Intifada revolution, and he just kept yelling, free Palestine.
Authorities haven't speculated on a motive, but Washington's mayor said this.
We're going to stand together as a community in the coming days and weeks to send a clear message that we will not tolerate anti-Semitism.
The Israeli government blamed a climate of rising anti-Semitism, driven in part by governments in Europe.
There is a direct line connecting anti-Semitic and anti-Israeli incitement to this murder. This incitement is also done by leaders and officials of many countries and international organizations, especially from Europe.
President Trump also said anti-Semitism, hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Meanwhile, law enforcement is building the case against Elias Gonzalez.
And Sean is standing by for us now in Washington. So Sean, what's the latest on the police investigation into this attack?
Well, the very latest is that the FBI and local police up in Chicago have raided an apartment building connected to the suspect, Elias Gonzalez. They're understood to have seized electronic devices there. They'll also be going through his electronic footprints, his Google search profiles, seeing what they can connect him with and perhaps connect other people, if possible, to the events that happened here last night. Also, we've had the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, cabinet minister in President Trump's government, akin to a minister for justice, really, not just an advisor on legal matters, somebody who's in charge of prosecution. She was down here earlier today saying that she intends to prosecute Gonzalez to the fullest extent of the law. And there's a growing expectation now that this case will be taken away from the jurisdiction of the DC Metro Police and given over to the FBI as the lead agency, and the case would then be moved from one of being a local District of Columbia matter to a federal matter. The expectation is that Gonzalez may be charged with federal offences of hate crimes and possibly terrorism, and that might increase the penalties available to any courts that he may come before, up to and including the death penalty. Eileen.
Sean Whelan in Washington, thank you.